News in 5.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.
This is World News in 5 here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. United States President Joe Biden warned Iran against getting involved in the ongoing clashes of Israel and the Palestinian militant group Hamas amid fears that the conflict could spill in other parts of the Middle East. Speaking to the roundtable of Jewish community leaders in Washington, Biden said his deployment of U.S. military assets, particularly a carrier strike group near Israel, should be seen as a clear signal to Tehran not to get involved in the Israeli-Hamas war. Washington early this week deployed aircraft carrier USS Gerald Ford and its strike group in the Middle East in a show of deterrence against additional parties that plan to join the conflict in Israel and occupied territories in Palestine. National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby said another aircraft carrier strike group is also bound for the Mediterranean for a long-scheduled deployment and will be available if needed in the current situation in the eastern part of the region. Iran considers Israel as its sworn enemy in the region and backs Hamas and the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah, which also began firing rockets toward Israel this week. Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has denied any Iranian involvement in the attacks against Israel, but lauded Saturday's Hamas assault. Meanwhile, the Israeli government formed a new war cabinet to present a united front against the Hamas. In a televised address, Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu said he and the centrist opposition party leader Benny Gantz agreed to set aside differences as their state fights what he described as cruel enemy worse than the ISIS. In a separate joint statement, the two leaders said the emergency government will not take up any unrelated policy while Israeli forces fight Hamas in Gaza. Prior to the creation of the new cabinet, Biden spoke again with Netanyahu, telling him Israel should follow the rules of war in its response against Hamas.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.
In our news overseas, at least 4 passengers were killed and about 80 others sustained injuries after an express train derailed in the Indian state of Bihar. According to a news agency Reuters report citing an official from India's East Central Railway, a North Express train was traveling in the state's Buxar district when 21 of its coaches derailed out of the track. The same report citing a police official said 3 of the coaches overturned, adding the cause of the derailment was not immediately known. The latest train accident came 4 months after a separate tragedy in India's Odisha state took the lives of at least 288 passengers and raised concerns about the safety of the country's aging railway systems. The Indian government has said it is investing in the country's railway systems to modernize it.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.
For our Philippine Embassy news, Philippine Ambassador to Cambodia Maria Amelita Aquino paid a courtesy call to Cambodian Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Defense Thea Seha on October 4 to discuss the two countries' military cooperation. According to the Philippine Embassy in Phnom Penh, the two officials discussed the Philippines-Cambodia defense and security relations, noting the existing bilateral mechanisms for their military and defense officials to engage and exchange views on matters of common interest. They cited in particular the convening of the First Philippine Army Royal Cambodian Army Working Group or AWG meeting in June 2023, where the two sides agreed on cooperation activities that would further enhance Army-to-Army relations. During the meeting, Ambassador Aquino also recognized Cambodia's active participation in United Nations peacekeeping missions and lauded the Cambodian government for deploying more women peacekeepers.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.
You just heard World News in 5 here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. This is Peñano. Good day.
World News in 5.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.